think they're about done, honey. Oh, hi, guys. I'm using my hot pad. Mr. Kid got me this quite a while ago. It says, grateful, thankful, and blessed, which I am. And I am trying out my new Hotlogic. See, here it says Hotlogic. I can't tip it too much because I don't want to spill all my juices in it. But Mr. Kit went to help a friend, and so I thought, well, I'm gonna put some fresh veggies in there, some mushrooms, onions. I think I put in there, it's mushrooms, onions, zucchini, cauliflower, and a bell pepper with a little bit of onion and garlic powder, you know, because the kidney doctor says I can't have salt anymore, so we're gonna try something. And I want to thank my friend for telling me about onion and garlic powder, and I took an empty container and mixed them together, so we'll see later on how they taste. But I told you guys that I made a promise that if I got so many views on my other story, that I would tell you the Tommy story. So here it is, okay? And I'm probably going to tell it to you like I'm telling a children's story, okay? So here we go, okay? How many of you guys are 6 years old? Anybody? You're 6? Wow, that's amazing. Because when Miss Kathy was 6 years old, I went to my auntie's house a long time ago. And it was a ways away from our house because when I was 6, we lived up on a hill. So I had to waddle down the hill and down the street to get to my auntie's house. And she lived in a teeny little house. And I mean teeny. It had a living room, 2 bedrooms, a bathroom, and kitchen. And that was it. And, but she had, before you went up into the house, she had a little garden spot and flowers and things. And she told my cousin Tommy and I, my cousin Tommy was, I want to say 15, 16 years old, you know, and I was 6, and we were out weeding the garden, and we'd gone inside the house. And we went into the kitchen, and I was sitting in there and drinking a glass of water, or maybe Kool-Aid, and having a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I do remember that much. And then all of a sudden, my auntie come out of the bathroom, and she said, Kathy, I can't believe you did that. And I'm like, what did I do? What did I do? And I thought, the only thing I could think of is that I had pulled up the plant instead of the weeds. I mean, after all, I was only 6 years old. And she said, I can't believe you did that. You're going to have to get a spanking. And I'm like, what? Trying not to stick out my lip and be sad. And I'm like, oh, okay. I don't know what I did to do that. And all of a sudden she turned into because the kitchen, you got to remember the bathroom was off the kitchen and the dining room table was here. And so she had to just turn, and on the one wall was the kitchen area, was the stove, the refrigerator, and the drawers and stuff. You know, it was a tiny kitchen, okay? And it was a teeny tiny bathroom too. But she had turned and got in the drawer and got out a wooden spoon. And I'm like, what did I do that it was so bad? And all of a sudden, my cousin Tommy stood up and said, no, my Kathy, you don't spank my Kathy. That's my Kathy. You don't spank my Kathy. And he took his body and covered me. And he covered me up, and my aunt tried to come around this side, and he'd turn. And she tried to go this way, and he'd turn. He had his body covering my body, and he would not let her spank me for nothing. And it wasn't the first time, and it probably wouldn't have been the last time. But this time I remember him just covering me, and he took me by the hand and said, no, you're not spanking my Kathy. And we left my auntie's house, and we walked towards my grandma Viola's house. And we turned, and we waddled down there. More or less, because he was so much taller than me, I was just dangling. I mean, I barely don't even remember touching the ground, you know, because but we were walking, and I couldn't wait to get to Grandma Viola's, because you know what she let us do? Pick fresh mint and put it in boiling water and have a mint tea just with the mint leaves. Oh, it's the best mint tea ever, okay? But that's neither here nor there. But we were walking, and we got to Grandma's house, and as I was telling the story, my mama says to me, because my mama came to church with me that day that I was telling this story. And as we come home, my mama said, Kat, let me tell you something. Tommy didn't walk you to Grandma's all by yourself. You might have thought that you were the only person there. But your dad and I walked behind you guys. And not only that, Tommy loved you so much he wouldn't let nobody spank you. I couldn't even spank you. As long as Tommy was around, wherever Tommy, if you were around Tommy, no spanking. My Kathy. He would scream, my Kathy, no spanking my Kathy. And I thought, oh, and I've always loved my cousin Tommy. He was out, but there was a brief, time with him, because he had passed away, a year or so after that. But I've never forgotten that. But the reason I'm telling you that story is because there's somebody that loves us and is closer to us than a brother, and that's Jesus Christ. He will guide you, he will protect you, and he will carry you in a time of need. He tells us that much. So just remember, when you have a need and maybe you're having a big math test, or maybe you have a homework assignment that you need to get done and you're so tired, but you got to get it completed because it's due tomorrow. Just ask God for strength and for wisdom. He will help you and he will provide you. And know that he loves you and he's a bigger protector than anyone here on this earth. And he will make sure that you're taken care of. Okay? And remember, my Kathy and my Father, God, loves you more than anything. And he's there to protect you. Okay? Take care of yourselves. God bless now. Bye-bye.